For Rachel Herzog, her abilities on the ice combined to make her one gifted athlete.
Actually, I think hockey was something that actually came naturally to me because my first year I've watched the game for so long prior to playing, so I understood the style and how it worked. So it wasn't necessarily learning how the game worked, it was just kind of piecing the skill sets together. And like I said, I started when I was around 9 or 10 and I had my skating down. Skating is still something that I think is my strongest suit in my game today. But after my first year, I had picked up on everything else in the game right away, and I got asked to be in a Selects hockey tournament, Minnesota Selects hockey tournament. And I think that was a big eye-opener for me because it was my first year of hockey and I was already amongst some of the top players in my age group. And I think that kind of motivated me to keep playing, and it made me enjoy it more knowing that I was already pretty good at it. And it didn't take a whole lot for me to kind of get up to that level. Granted, I was 10 years old and it's a lot different once you get older. It gets a lot more competitive, but I think at that point in my life, it's what kind of fueled me to keep going with it.
There was a consensus around the fact that she, had good edges, really good hands. She's got sneaky good hands, and sometimes at defense you don't always see that because you're not showcasing that to score goals per se. But she has really good hands. She has a long stick, great stick work, and and I love her skating. Right? I mean, I love to watch Rachel skate.
Growing up in the state of hockey, it was a national icon that made hockey shine bright in the eyes of Rachel.
Hannah Brandt was the captain of the team that year, and it was her senior year, and she was this world-renowned player. On the women's side, she was the best player in women's hockey at the time. She still is known to this day as one of the best players, has played in the Olympics, on national teams, won gold medals, and she went to Hill Murray. And I remember watching that game and she had scored 4 goals. I watched her and I was like, I want to be just like her, and I want to go to this school because this school has shaped her into the player that she is. So she definitely was the one person that I looked up to a lot growing up through hockey.
In a state where more young kids play the game than anywhere else in the country, Rachel's beginning as a hockey player comes from an unordinary story.
Well, growing up, I was a soccer player. I enjoyed playing soccer. I started that really young. And my older sister, Claire, is what kind of got hockey back into the family. My dad grew up playing hockey, played in college as well, so he was thrilled that she was kind of getting into it. And that kind of started to consume our family life because my sister got right into it. And all that we would watch as a family was any sort of NHL games, mostly the Wild. And then we would watch Miracle on Ice on repeat. I swear to God, it was all the time. And I got so sick of it. I was surrounded by it all the time. I had to go to my sister's games every other day. I mean, in youth hockey, they had games every other day. And had to go to her practices sometimes because my parents wanted to go watch. I was just consumed by the sport, which made me start to hate it. And every single year when hockey season came around and Claire got put back into hockey, my dad would come up to me and he's like, Rach, do you want to play? And I would refuse every single time for years on end. Probably 4 or 5 years in a row, he would ask me to play hockey, and I said no. And I wouldn't even watch my sister's games at the time either. I would just sit in the lobby and play the games because I didn't want to watch. And then finally one year, I think I was 9 or 10, and he came down. Me and my sister were playing, I think we were playing Wii in the basement. He's like, Claire, you want to sign up for hockey again? She's like, yep. He's like, Rach, you want to play hockey? And I was like, screw it, I'll give it a shot. Even though I don't like watching it, maybe I'll have a good time playing it. And that's kind of where it all started.
But she resisted it. We would take her to a Wild game and all she cared about was snacks, ice cream, snacks. I'd look down to see if she's paying attention in the game. She's just looking around and enjoying the environment. She's really a fun kid and interested in having fun in her surrounding, but she had zero interest in hockey.
I know my dad always wanted us kids to play because I have 2 younger sisters too that ended up playing hockey after me and Claire did. I think I'm just a stubborn stubborn kid. I knew he wanted me to play really badly, and I knew Claire loved it, and I kind of wanted to be my own person and have my own path. So for many years I just said no, no, no. But I am so thankful that he kept asking me, because it has become probably one of the most important things in my life. And I've learned so much just outside of the sport itself. You learn so much on how to be a person, how to be a good teammate, how to work with others, people that you get along with and people that you don't. I've just gathered so much throughout my life being on different teams and just playing the sport all year round. And I appreciate him every day for pushing me to do it.
With all the memories and the experiences, hockey has given Rachel and her dad more than just the game itself.
Do I love all of the, all the games and the aspects and goal scoring and defensive plays and all those things? Yeah, absolutely. But those things don't translate into life. It's all the other things that I think do. And I think through her youth hockey coaches, high school, college hockey, Steve has done a great job with Rachel. I think that she's prepared very, very well for the next phase of her life, and that's what I appreciate the most.
If there's any small or big part of you that is interested in the sport, I would 110% push you into doing it, because I was in your shoes at one point. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I just kind of went for it, and it ended up being the most important decision that I ever made. And you talk to anybody that plays hockey in another sport, and you ask them which one they like better, and the answer is always hockey. Hockey just has that effect on people. I can't even tell you what it is. I think it's just because it's so unique to other sports. You have to learn how to skate before you can learn how to play the sport. Especially growing up in Minnesota, it's almost a given that one person out of the family is going to end up playing hockey. So anybody thinking about giving it a shot, you're probably not going to regret it.
She knows I'm proud of her. I text her after every game and let her know what I'm thinking, and I always remind her that, at the end of the day, go out, play hard, be a good teammate, and the chips fall where they fall. And Rachel, I love you very much.